Hello, leaders. Hey, this is Paul Grau, and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges, the daily show that equips leaders to achieve their greatest potential. Hey, hope you're doing great today, and I hope you're ready to kick off a new week of challenges. This week, we're going to be talking about the external factors that can really interfere with leadership. And today, I want to kick things off with something that is all too common in the world, and I think you'll be able to relate to this. So have you ever been told that you weren't good enough? Or that you aren't living up to your full potential? Or how about somebody telling you that they wish that you were as good as somebody else and you'll never be good enough? If you haven't been told anything that harsh, how about the simple phrase, "What were you thinking? That was so dumb." Today, we're talking about the external factor of negative words and the impact that they can have on you and your team members. Now, these negative words may come from a coworker, another leader, a peer, a friend, a spouse, or maybe the negative words came from a parent when you or your team members were growing up. Regardless of where you hear them, negative words can have a drastic impact on our productivity, our attitudes, our self-worth, our confidence in ourselves, our beliefs about ourselves, and this is just to name a few things. As a leader, whether it's at work or at home, or just conversing with friends and family, you must be cautious about your words. You see, as leaders, people look up to us, and they are always watching and listening to us, even though we may not think they are. And if you happen to make even the smallest snide comment, it may really impact them, especially if they've heard similar things from other people, either currently or in their past. As leaders, we are here to build our people up, to boost their self-esteem, to motivate them to want to do more and achieve more, and to just help them in any way that we can. We are not here to tear them down and or demotivate them. Now I realize that we also need to discipline some of our team members now and then, but it still doesn't mean that we have to bash on them. We'll get a lot further if we just have real conversations with them about why they fell short of the expectations or policies. As long as you've given them adequate feedback to set them up for success, you can now get them to take responsibility for their actions and find out what the issue is. Then come up with an action plan to help them, to build them up. Today's challenge is to sit down with all your team members, whether you're in person or via video, and have some type of fun activity to lift them up, to energize them, and to shine some light into their world. Because let's face it, we all need some more of that nowadays. Ideally, over the next week or two, I also challenge you to have one-on-one discussions with each of your team members. And somewhere in the middle of that discussion, just kind of work in the question that asks them to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10 in self-worth or self-confidence or maybe self-esteem. Just ask them, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself in self-confidence or self-esteem? It doesn't have to be sit them down and just blurt out that question. Warm them up first. Now, depending on how they rate themselves, you can follow it up with a simple question. Why did you pick that number? And then go from there. Hey, the bottom line is that as leaders, our words matter. So let's make them positive and lifting instead of negative and damaging. Hey, I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I'd love to hear what some of your leadership challenges are. Please share them with me by dropping me an email at Paul, that's Paul, at clcteam.com. Again, that's Paul at clcteam.com. Hey, be sure to join us tomorrow as we'll cover another very common external factor that has definitely impacted everyone. Until then, run to your challenges.